This is the Lamborghini Gallardo, the original one. This is a 2005 car and it's not the E-gear. Cool car. It's not the E-gear, guys, it's not. Like 99.9996% went for the E-gear, which was a 16,000 euro extra in the Netherlands. And nobody wanted the poor man's manual, but thankfully a few did, and this is one of them. Just two round exhausts. This is a Simon exhaust, so it's a little louder than stock because it's a German exhaust and they have to meet all these regulations and laws. So it's not like a straight piped 5 liter, which should be the best sound ever, because that's the case with the 5 liter. It's the best sounding Lambo engine. Well, it's the best sounding V10, because as you might know, there has also been the 5.2, the LP 560-4. Oh, well, that's really high, both pitch wise and length wise. All right, let me tell you all about this car. This is a 5 liter V10. Now, there have been many wrong facts out there about these V10 engines. First one is that the 5.2 is a bored 5 liter. That's not the case. They are very different engines, and it's an even firing V10. So you have 2 cylinder banks, 2 straight 5s, you could say, and they are both firing at the same time. The 5.2 liter was an old firing V10, so it sounds like 2 5-cylinders. Oh, I just love this detail. Just have a look at this black on black Gallardo logo, as if we are in Back to the Future. It's such a retro design. This is a 2005 car, but it looks like it's from 1985. Oh, that turnover sound. Like the moment you decide to give up, okay, it's not going to start, it starts. That's such a cool sound. This is really that classic Italian supercar feel that you just want in a car like this. I just can't believe so many people went for the E-gear, the single clutch, quirky jerky unit that gave a lot of problems and was 16,000 euros more expensive. So 0 to 100, it should do, according to Lambo, 4.2 seconds for the manual. The E-gear did 4 seconds dead. I am going to try and launch it. Okay, have a listen to that metally sound, especially from 5th to 4th. Here we go. Oh, that's like a bolt action rifle, right? Oh man, why is it that I get such a beep when I do that? This is not the most practical car because my camera gear is in the front, which means the car cover is right here. So I have a G meter. A lot of G's. So we have nearly half a tank of petrol and we can do 130 kilometers. Okay, from second gear onwards. This is a Lamborghini Gallardo Spider Performante Edizione Tecnica. So underneath here we have the 5.2 V10, which is really identical to the one in the Huracan. This V10 produces 570 horsepower and 540 Newton meters of torque. 0 to 100, 3.9 seconds and a top speed of 324 kilometers an hour. Now, the seating position of these full carbon seats is the worst seating position ever. I have to be honest here. Now, just have a look at this piece of art. An entire door made out of carbon fiber. This center console with even a carbon fiber cubby just looks like a piece of art to me. So let's close this up and start it up. So let's put it into gear with these super small flappy pedals. Can't believe how small these actually are. Column mounted, so you really have to know where they are, because you also have this stalk and you have this massive key that just keeps hitting your knee. I mean, this is just ridiculous. When you start it up, it's in manual mode even, not in auto mode. For that you have to hit the A and then it says A and then the gear you're in. But you can also go for Corsa and then you have a little small blue C right in the bottom right corner and it says ESC Sport, and that's it. Now in a modern Lamborghini, if you hit Corsa, it's like this light show that changes the dash and this and that, and it starts blinking and using a smoke machine. It's ridiculous. I just love the old school approach of this car. Everything is old school. The gearbox is a single clutch E-gear unit with 6 gears. Now it does auto blip on the downshift. And the way it operates the clutch is really good. They have really nailed it with this gearbox. I love it. There we go. I have never heard a Huracan that sounds this good. Now just have a look at how awesome that looks. So that was it. Now you might think, where has the sound gone? Yeah, that's quite unfortunate. If you close the roof, you have less sound, but we have the magic window. As I said, it doesn't produce any of the fake sound like the Huracan. This thing is all natural. Doesn't have any fake tits, no fake lips, no fake hips. This is a manly Lamborghini, an old school one. Oh. So red line is at 8,500 revs, but it's supposed to be there, but it's a little earlier than that. I think it's at about 8,200. Downshift. Ooh, that's a cool sound. Oh my god, it's completely empty behind me, so I'm going to pull a gap. 7.59 seconds, which is really quick. That's the same as a Ferrari 458. Wow, the balance of this car. It's not even that stiff, it's quite compliant, the suspension.
Lamborghini Huracan Performante. They built this car to beat the Nürburgring lap time record for production cars, and they did. One of the coolest features about this car, and one of the most impressive ones, the ALA system. So Aerodynamica Lamborghini Attiva, which means that it has active aero, and that in itself is nothing new. We have some flaps in here in the front splitter that open to relieve the pressure on the splitter and reduce drag. These little air scoops that suck air into these struts of the rear spoiler, which is a masterpiece and a piece of art in itself. So air goes through these struts, and there's a little valve in here which can open and close, obviously. So when it's closed, this just acts as a regular wing, so vertical downforce. But when it's open, air goes through here and comes out underneath here, the spoiler. So it breaks the air, so to speak, and it reduces drag as well. They introduced something called aero vectoring, and they can vary the downforce on each side. The engine, 5.2 liter V10 with a gold cover, really cool. This is actually plastic. 640 horsepower, 600 Newton meters. So that's 30 horsepower up from the standard Huracan. And today we are here with the all-new Lamborghini Huracan EVO. So it is the mid-cycle update for the Huracan. It's so much more aggressive than a regular Huracan. This is all much more aggressive than it used to be. This new Y design for the front bumper, this is also much more aggressive. This car develops 500% of the downforce of a regular Huracan Spider. The tailpipes themselves, of course, are higher up. So this is the same spot as they are on the Performante. Also new for the EVO is this little ducktail spoiler at the rear, which looks really cool. We've got a 5.2 liter V10. Basically, it's just the engine lifted from the Performante. So that means 640 horsepower, 600 Newton meters. In here, the EVO has a new touchscreen. This is the infotainment. This is everything you need basically to operate the car. Launch control, foot on the brake, full throttle. But we've got a couple of families of, what's that, geese? So there's a lot of them. So
driving it, you can feel that they definitely try to improve the handling of this car with this new EVO, because it feels so aggressive and agile. That front end, it goes like, well, nothing I've driven recently. It's so immediate. Oh, that's loud. From like 100 kilometers an hour, full throttle. Oh. This is the all new 2022 Lamborghini Huracan STO. STO stands for Super Trofeo Omologata, which means homologation, of course. This is as close as possible to a Super Trofeo car, which is a race car, you know, a GT car. Porsche 911 GT3 RS. I would classify it that way. We have a lot of insane aero. We have a lot of these very pronounced bumper parts, winglets, fins, vents, slats, slots, carbon fiber splitter. As you can see, we've got a completely different front end compared to a regular Huracan. This is to get rid of the heat of those radiators down there through the bonnet out in the open. And then there's a little key that hides right there. Then you click it, which opens it up. Yes, it does. Turn it, click it, can open up the entire front end of the body. Magnesium wheels also to reduce weight, of course. Center locking wheels actually. And in total, the weight saving is 43 kilos, which is not that much. Click that. And then this should open. So that is the engine cover, all carbon fiber as well. As you can see with the fin in there, this is basically the Performante spec. So 640 horsepower, the rear wing. Now we don't have the ALA system anymore, the ALA, Aerodinamica Lamborghini Attiva. So we just have a passively adjustable wing basically. So manually adjustable, 3 settings for the rear wing, which is absolutely gorgeous with this slot in here. And then in here we've got a lot of Alcantara and carbon fiber. We've got these beautiful carbon fiber doors. We've got these little door openers, €1,000 this option. That's absolutely mental. So on this car, over 96,000 euros worth of options. So we don't have floor mats. You can see carbon fiber down there as well. And you can see the camera there. That's part of the telemetry system. You can see the fire extinguisher and the titanium roll cage. You can see here the driving modes. So you have STO, Trofeo and Pioggia, which is basically street, race, wet. And then we've got this 4-point harness. But it's a really good one because you still have like a regular seatbelt buckle right there. So you just put that in there and then you secure these two and you're done.
Lamborghini Huracan STO on the road. Woo-hoo-hoo! Yes, please. It's a bit more dangerous. And these tires, you really have to get some heat in them before they work. So all the important bits, Lamborghini just turned those up to 11. Oh! Ah, that gearbox is so violent. Oh my god. So they turned everything up to 11. And that includes, as I said, those wheels, brakes and tires, magnesium, carbon ceramics, Bridgestone Potenza Race if you want.
Lamborghini Huracan Tecnica. This is the final one, I promise, but it never is it? The car is 6 centimeters larger. It's got an entirely new front end design. You can see all the Ys and the triangles, and this has a new carbon fiber frunk. The engine, the 5.2 V10, is still that lovely 640 horsepower unit. It's got a new diffuser, it's got a new, I'm going to call it the engine bay cover. It's no longer attached to the roof, but it's more flat and it's fully made out of carbon fiber. And it's 10 kilos lighter than a normal EVO rear-wheel drive. Aero has always been a very important subject when it came to the ultimate Huracans. The Performante with the ala system. Well, the STO speaks for itself when it comes to aero. And yet again, it's all about aero. So we have this massive air ducts back here to direct hot air out of there, and we have these new things right there. We have air ducts right there to cool the rear brakes, and we have some flaps right there to cool the front brakes. This is also cool. These new hexagonal designed exhausts, the best Huracan there has ever been. Because as I said, you want that 640 horsepower unit, so that means Performante, STO, EVO or this. Now, why don't you get the Performante? Because I think four-wheel drive just ruins it for me. So then we have 3 left. The STO, which is also gone, because that thing is just made for the track and it has a license plate to go to the track and from the track. So that leaves us with the 640 horsepower Huracan EVO, but that's only available as 4-wheel drive, because when you get the EVO with 2-wheel drive, you drop down in power. It's the nicest one with the rear-wheel drive and the 640 horsepower. Now let's go to Corsa, and then we have to manually shift gears, which I don't mind because the gearbox is just perfect. So they have the same gearbox and engine software. So drivetrain wise they are identical. But when it comes to the handling, they are far from identical. And for you this might seem like the same experience, but for me, I feel the car through my seat, through the steering wheel, and it's totally different. We don't have that hardcore dedicated sharpness that you get with the STO. It also seems a little less quick in the steering, but that could be because of the softer setup. There's just this bit of woolliness in the center which you don't have with the STO. And the entire car is just handling wise, just less exciting, I have to say, but for the public roads, this probably is the better car because you don't have that massive aero that a lot of people may find over the top and too much. I'm here today with the Huracan Sterrato. That's the main theme of the Sterrato, fun. Fun over performance. So the Lamborghini Sterrato is the off-road version of the Huracan. This is the last Huracan. After this, there will be its successor, which is going to be a hybrid. So it's a Huracan which has been beefed up, you could say. So we have a lot of reinforcement. The entire front end has been reinforced. The lower part of the side sills have been protected with plating and reinforcements. Same goes for the rear. As you can see, big reinforcement plate right there. And right there we have the legendary 5.2 liter V10 with 610 horsepower. Protection, like these black parts, if you hit something, you can just easily replace it. Forged aluminium wheels, specially designed for the Sterrato, as are the tires. So this one has the optional roof rack with a spare tire. I do really like that green Alcantara on the seat. Seat is a carbon seat, which we also got in like the Performante. This has been updated to be a bit more comfortable because the Performante seat was just horrible. So this is a newer version. It still is not the best seat when it comes to comfort. So you can get a normal seat, which I would advise. These are a bit too hardcore for my taste. So you get a little Sterrato badge on the side. You get different rev counters in the Sterrato and Strada, Sport, Rally. Normally that's Corsa. They haven't changed that much compared to other Huracans, but that's what's so great about it. They just change a few components and you have a totally different car, which is a perfect example of how versatile the Huracan platform actually is. You can have it four-wheel drive, you can have it two-wheel drive. It is an epic vehicle, and its successor has one of the toughest jobs ever in automotive history, I think. But what a machine this is. And it makes all the right noises, having that V10 engine in the middle, 610 horsepower. It's sufficient for these conditions. It's I absolutely love this place, this car, and the combination of the two. I just want one so bad. Woohoo! balancing from 300, full mash. Incredible. Sort of a negative torque vectoring that's going on. Feedback through the steering wheel, nearly nothing, but through these amazing seats, feel about everything. To summarize, this thing feels like a wide turbo GT3. That's how I would describe it. And of course we're also going to get some kind of STO version or a Performante or whatever they'll call it, but thinking this is going to get even crazier, it's something to look forward to.